Well, a very good afternoon and welcome to Watersheddings for this afternoon's crucial Stones Bitter Championship fixture between Oldham and Leigh. A game that Leigh have got to win to avoid relegation, but one that Oldham, if they should lose, would put them on the fringe of the relegation zone. So a vital match for both sides to win. It's the third time this season that these two sides have met. And the first round of the Lancashire Cup earlier in the season, Oldham were winners by 29 points to 22 here at Watersheddings, and Leigh won the first league fixture at Hilton Park by 40 points to 12. So Oldham in possession. We'll give you the two sides when there's a break in play. Sherratt on the ball for Oldham at the moment. So Oldham moving it left. Sanderson going to act in half-back. Kick will come in from skipper Burke. One's directly out of play. That gives me a chance to give you the Oldham side. They line up 1 Mick Burke, 2 Hussein Mbaki, 3 Gary Warnicker, 4 Jeff Edwards, 5 Mick Taylor, 6 Stuart Raper, 7 Paddy Kerwin. Just pause whilst we have the scrum. Ford comes up with the ball for Leigh. Leigh win the first scrum. Collier driving in for Leigh. The Oldham forwards are at 8 Ian Sherratt, 9 Ian Anderson, 10 Hugh Waddell, 11 Colin Harkyard, 12 Neil Clausen, 13 Terry Flanagan. And the Oldham subs are at 14 Tony Morrison and 15 Mark Furbank. But Leigh still in possession. Ford out to Phil Johnson. Kick ahead by Huddart. Picked up by fullback Burke, so we'll quickly give you the Leigh side. They line up 1 Chris Johnson, 2 Neil McCulloch, 3 John Henderson, 4 James Luluai, 5 Ian Jeffrey, 6 John Kerr, 7 the skipper Mike Ford, 8 Dave Evans, 9 Gary Hughes, 10 Tony Cottrell, 11 Andy Collier, 12 Milton Huddart and 13 Phil Johnson. And the Leigh substitutes at 14 Mike Davis and 15 John Westhead. So we've had just 2 minutes of this Stones Bitter Championship fixture here at Watersheddings. No points on the board as yet. Oldham in possession, 10 yards outside their own 25. Last tattle indicates the referee. Kick coming in from Raper. Well taken by Jeffrey for Leigh. Jeffrey steps past one tattle. Stopped by Mbaki in the end. Luluai attacked in half-back. Out to Ford. Bring in Evans. He's well stopped by Sanderson and Sherratt. Use for Leigh, onto Phil Johnson. Phil Johnson stopped by Hawkyard. Normally a scrum half, playing for Leigh at loose forward this afternoon. Ford now to Cottrell. Collier trying to break through again. Hawkyard makes the stop for Oldham. Leigh without their usual skipper Derek Pike this afternoon, but both sides got plenty of injuries. But that's a kick from Ford, which Mbaki will stop from going into touch. He goes perilously close to the touchline, keeps in play. Burke now on the charge for Oldham. Well, it appeared to be a trip from Huddart, but the Leigh second row forward gets away with it. Flanagan now gets it onto Waddell. Sanderson on to Flanagan to bring in the big second row Clausen. Sanderson attacked in half-back. Knock on by Raper. Oldham looking for the relieving kick. We'll have the second scrum of the game, and it'll be inside the Oldham 25. Michael Ford to feed the scrum. Penalty to Oldham for second row feeding. So skipper Mick Burke will take this kick for touch, coming in our direction. Burke makes sure, finds touch about 12 yards outside his own 25, and Sanderson will take the tap. They bring in Sherratt. Good tattle coming in from Phil Johnson for Leigh. Sanderson now, out to Kerwin. on to Waddell. Both sides, of course, will be desperate to get the first points on the board to settle them down for this vital game. Kerwin. Ball lost, picked up for Leigh by Cottrell. Tackle made by Warnocky. So Leigh back in possession now with Kerr. Long pass out to Huddart. Huddart steps inside, but Flanagan half stops him. And Leigh are 10 yards short of their opponent's 25, with Phil Johnson now to Kerr. On to Luluai, fine break for Leigh by James Luluai. Inside to John Henderson, and Leigh's Oldham-born centre opens the scoring for the visitors. So just over 5 minutes of the game gone, and the first time that Leigh open up the Oldham defence. They're there in numbers to support the break from Luluai, and John Henderson, Leigh's leading try scorer, gets his 25th try of the season to put the visitors ahead by 4 points to 0. So the Leigh fullback, Chris Johnson, 75 goals to his credit so far this season. Adds the conversion, and 6 minutes of the game gone, and Leigh lead Oldham here at Watersheddings by 6 points to 0. Well, a dream start for the visitors. Their plight a little more desperate than Oldham's at the moment. Edwards with the restart from the centre. Phil Johnson picks up the ball for Leigh. Pushes off Kerwin, stopped by Raper and Flanagan. So what can Leigh do from inside their own 25? Evans now trying to knock them off, runs into Clausen. Kerr attacked in half back for Leigh. Bringing Cottrell, 3 men in on that. Clausen and Flanagan again in on the tattle. Forward. Kerr, long pass out to Luluai. Good tattle coming in from Raper. Last one indicates the referee. Oldham done a good containing job on Leigh in this position. Out to Jeffrey now. Jeffrey makes the break, hits it inside to Chris Johnson, but Oldham come up with the ball. Referee allows play on. Ford makes the tattle on Hardyark. Flanagan now for Oldham. Out to Burke, out to Warnocky. Tony Cottrell penalised for the second tattle there. Totally unnecessary by the Leigh prop forward. Well spotted by referee Holsworth. McBurke will take the kick for touch for Oldham. Good kick again from fullback Burke, finding touch midway between the halfway line and the visitors' 25. Sanderson now with the tap. On to Sherratt. Evans and Hullett make the stop for Leigh. Sanderson now out to Kerwin. Waddell almost breaks through, stopped 8 yards short of the Leigh 25. Sanderson attacked in half back again, out to Flanagan. Long pass out to Burke. Good tattle by Henderson. So Taylor now attacked in half back. Trying to go it alone, doesn't catch the Leigh defence out. Oldham still short of their opponent's 25. Flanagan now, on to Raper. Raper hangs on to the ball. Flanagan gets it back. Flanagan inside to Sanderson. Good defence by Leigh in the end. Fullback Johnson making the stop. Good chance here for Oldham. Clausen takes the short ball. Turnover and possession to Leigh. Relief for the visitors. Clausen making the stop on Collier. Hughes now attacked in half-back. They bring in Evans. Evans runs into Sherratt, but he makes 10 valuable yards, almost up to his own 25-yard line. Ford now. Ford looking for the gap. Ford, of course, another Oldham-born player in the Leigh ranks, along with John Henderson. Kick coming in from Oddett, but that's too strong. It's a bad kick from Leigh's point of view. Oldham will have the advantage of the scrum inside the Leigh 25. So Paddy Kerwin to feed the scrum. Kerwin goes without the ball, and Leigh were fortunate to get it at the second attempt. Phil Johnson trying to push off Kerwin. So Huddett now for Leigh. Out to Kerr. No way through for Kerr. 3 Oldham forwards round him, stop him on his own 25. Hughes now on to Evans for Leigh. Evans pushes one off. Good run again from the Leigh number 8, clearing his own 25. Kick will come in this time from Phil Johnson. Charged down by Raper. The referee has given the dropout from under the post. Good piece of work there by the Leigh number 10, Tony Cottrell. Good charge kick by Stuart Raper. Raper forced to slow a little while he made a second kick, and Cottrell, I beg your pardon, was the one to kick it over the dead ball line. Good drop out for Leigh from Johnson, but it only finds Mbaki. Mbaki runs into Luluai, and Oldham back on the attack just outside the Leigh 25. 6 points in arrears at the moment. Kerwin dodging and weaving. Stopped on the 25. Flanagan brings in Sherratt. Sherratt gets it onto Warnocky. Warnocky runs into a tackle from Kerr. Good spell of attack this from Oldham. Still trying to unlock this Leigh defence. Kerwin now. Leigh take 2 dummies. Burke gets it out to Clausen. Clausen stopped just short. Certainly all Oldham at the moment. Out to Burke. Last one indicates referee Holsworth. Oldham really needs something from this position. Well, Evans penalised for offside. The kick came back off a Leigh player, and Oldham get the penalty. Leigh a little unfortunate there, but Oldham were desperate for points from that situation. Burke electing to go for goal. 12 and a half minutes of the game gone. Oldham 0, Leigh 6. So Mick Burke, 30 goals for Oldham so far this season since joining the club from Widnes. Takes the kick back to the 25-yard line, and Oldham will be looking for their first points of the afternoon. So Mick Burke to the right of the Leigh post. Makes no mistake with that one. Puts Oldham on the score sheet. 13 and a half minutes of the game gone. Oldham 2 points, Leigh 6. So Leigh back at the centre. Loose forward Phil Johnson with a kick-off. Kicks that one deep. Well taken over his own line by Mbaki. Breaks out of 2 poor Leigh tattlers. Stopped by fullback Chris Johnson. That should encourage Oldham to greater things. Here comes Kerwin on to Flanagan. Flanagan goes without the ball. Leigh get possession. And all Oldham on the far side are penalised for offside, and Leigh get their first penalty of the game. Leigh take a quick tap, but Harkyard makes the stop on Huddett. Hughes now, nowhere to go, no one going to help him. Stopped in the end by Sherratt. Mike Ford now. Collier runs into a double tattle from Flanagan and Raper. Evans out to Ford. Ford with the kick, comes off Warnocky, picked up by Taylor. Good half stop on Taylor. Taylor still going, stopped 10 yards outside his own 25. Sanderson attacked in half-back, out to Flanagan. On to Waddell. Brilliant sunshine here at the moment at Watersheddings. Wide gap there for Sanderson to go through. Good stop again by Chris Johnson for Leigh, but Oldham slow to get up to support the man. A break on by Warnocky. Warnocky scores behind the Leigh post, and Oldham are level at 6 points each. So Mick Burke with the easiest to conversion attempts from in front of the Leigh post. Should put Oldham ahead for the first time in the game. Scores level at 6 points each at the moment, and Ian Sanderson found the Leigh defence wanting from that play of the ball just outside his own 25. Mick Burke adds the conversion, and Oldham are ahead for the first time at 8 points to 6 with 16.5 minutes of the first half gone. So Phil Johnson once again with a restart for Leigh. 8 points in less than 3 minutes. Good take by Humbarkey. And surely that will give heart to the Oldham side. Clausen runs into a tattle from Cottrell, but Oldham have cleared their own 25. Sanderson out to Kerwin. Out to Sherratt. Kick will come in from Burke. Ball sits up nicely for Chris Johnson. Johnson tries to charge up the middle, runs into a tattle by Terry Flanagan. Ford now to Luluai. Luluai pushes one off, throws the ball away, picked up for Leigh by Kerr. Kerr tries to strengthen the move up, this time Sanderson makes the stop. Phil Johnson inside to Evans. Leigh been knocked off their game a little at the moment. Phil Johnson gets it out to goes to Jeffrey from Collier. Jeffrey gets out of 2 tackles, but really Leigh were going nowhere then. Ford now. Out to Cottrell. Cottrell looking to make the break. Cottrell couldn't get the ball away as he was tattled. Ford now. Ford stopped as well. Last one indicates referee Holsworth. Drop goal attempt from fullback Chris Johnson. Goes under the crossbar, and Oldham will tap from their own 25. The ball, Chris Johnson. Sanderson with the tap onto Sherratt. Sherratt proving a bit of a handful to the Leigh forwards at the moment. Sanderson onto Waddell. Come on, Sanderson again attacked in half back to Kerwin. Onto Raper. Ball lost. Picked up for Leigh by Luluai. Raper makes the stop. Collier attacked in half back for Leigh. Gets it out to Ford. Ford inside to Cottrell. Cottrell away to Evans. But again, Leigh standing still, passing. Phil Johnson now to Ford. Ford tries the dummy, but Waddell doesn't take it. Gary Hughes now, out to Phil Johnson. Chris Johnson to Collier. Back inside to Chris Johnson, but Leigh going nowhere. Long pass finds Kerr. Kerr tries to get the ball away, has it knocked out of his hand, and will scrum it just outside the Oldham 25. So Kerwin to feed the scrum for Oldham. Scrums one each at the moment. Penalty against Kerwin for second row feeding. So the referee has now penalised both scrum halves for second row feeding. Ford will take the tap for Leigh. Evans on the first drive. Runs into Waddle and Sanderson. Good attacking position for the visitors here. Hughes out to Uddert, but Leigh going in ones. Hughes attacked in half back for Leigh. Out to Ford. Inside to Cottrell. Cottrell in a three-man tattle. Does well to hold on to the ball for Leigh. Phil Johnson attacked in half back now for Leigh. To Ford. Collier goes without it. Burke picks it up for Oldham. Ford makes the tackle, but Oldham back in possession 10 yards from their own try line. Flanagan attacked in half back. 6 more indicates the referee. Kerwin now attacked in half back. On to Waddell. Waddell gets out of 2 tackles again. Leigh defence suspect at the moment. Kerwin now runs this time into Huddart and Johnson. Oldham still short of their own 25. Draper with the kick. Beautifully taken by McCulloch for Leigh. Good tackle coming in from Taylor. Henderson attacked in half by now. Out to Phil Johnson.
Just go forward.
Phil Johnson almost up to the 25 before Draper makes the stop. Hughes now to Ford. Out to Huddart. Long pass to Luluai. Luluai tries to push off Edwards, but the Oldham centre makes the stop. Jeffrey now inside to Chris Johnson, and again no one on the Leigh side appeared to want the ball. John Henderson forced to snatch at it and knock on, scrum it in centre field, and really Leigh have seemed to have lost their way a little in the last 5 minutes or so. But Oldham ahead by 8 points to 6. Kerwin to feed the scrum. Well, possession to Leigh at that scrum. So Phil Johnson, and again Leigh going nowhere. There goes Evan. Nobody wants the ball. Huddart trying to straighten the move up, stopped by Flanagan and Hawkyard. John Henderson now out to Evans. Evans driving in but not looking to release the ball. Cottrell. Ball's knocked out of his hands. Oldham come up with it. Sanderson now out to Flanagan. Flanagan runs into Kerr and Huddart. So can Oldham shape any better with the ball? Certainly Leigh didn't make the best of it. Warnocky out to Kerwin. Kerwin looking to straighten the move up. Well tackled by Ford. Sanderson out to Warnocky. Long pass to Burke. Burke tries to step inside. Gets past one tackle. Gets it out to Warnocky. Ball lost. Picked up for Leigh by Cottrell. Inside to Jeff. Luluai gets it out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey dances past one tackle. Takes it into the home 25. Now, what can Leigh do from this position? Luluai now out to Kerr. On to Henderson. Poor pass to McCulloch. Referee gives the knock on. We'll scrum it just outside the Oldham 25. That was a bit better from Leigh, but the Oldham defence standing no nonsense at the moment. Kerwin to feed the scrum. Possession to Oldham. Raper out to Burke. Forward pass. Referee doesn't wait for advantage, and we'll scrum it on the Oldham 25. So both sides making elementary mistakes whilst in possession at the moment. Both sides seeking inspiration from somewhere to brighten their game at the moment. Forward with the feed, and possession to Oldham. Well, Leigh came up with that one, but it's Oldham in possession. Good tattle on Clausen. Sanderson now down the short side to Waddell. Waddell allowed to get the ball away in the tattle, but Oldham knock on. So forward to feed the scrum again. Both sides needing to settle it down. We've had 25 and a half minutes of the game. Leigh come up with that one out to Chris Johnston in the end.
Go through him. Go through him.
Long pass out to McCulloch. Great try for Leigh. Good play from Leigh from that scrum. They brought fullback Chris Johnson into the line. The long pass found McCulloch outside. The try still had to be scored, but McCulloch's 13th try of the season puts Leigh back in the lead.
Well done, McCulloch.
So Leigh back ahead by 10 points to 8, and certainly the way both sides were playing, it didn't look as though a try of that calibre was on from either team. But Leigh managed to produce one through right winger Neil McCulloch, and Chris Johnson will now attempt the conversion from this near touchline. Just round the outside of the post, but with 27 minutes of the game gone, the scoreline here at Watershedings in the Stones Bitter Championship First Division fixture now reads Oldham 8 points, Leigh 10. So Edwards back with the restart at the centre for Oldham. Jeffrey claims that one. Clears his own 25 before he's stopped by Sanderson. But Leigh back in possession. Phil Johnson attacked in half back. Catches one man napping, but not Flanagan. Hughes now. Collier, a little eye there from Arkyard, but nothing said by the referee. Hughes now. Kick will come in from Phil Johnson. It's it out to Henderson. Now Leigh have got an overlap again. Henderson looking for the pace. Good tattle from behind by Raper. Mike Ford now. Wasted tattle there by Leigh. Henderson. Henderson with the kick ahead. Burke takes it over his own line, and Henderson makes the tattle. A good play by the Leigh centre. Mick Burke and Mick Taylor watching one another in the early stages of that kick through. And Oldham under pressure again, forced to drop out from under their own posts. Kerr takes the catch for Leigh. Kerr looking for the pace. Runs into Kerwin's tattle, but Leigh are back in their opponent's 25-yard line with 6 tattles to play with. Luluai now out to Cottrell, on to Chris Johnson. They try to get Jeffrey away. Jeffrey does well to keep out of touch. Leigh get a penalty for Kerwin kicking at the play of the ball. Ford takes the kick for touch, finds touch 10 yards from the Oldham line. Hughes now with the tap for Leigh. Evans first man in. All Leigh at the moment. Good tattle on Hughes though. Oldham quickly up at that play of the ball. Cottrell now to Ford. And James Luluai steps through a tackle and scores Leigh's third try of the game to put them 14 points to 8 ahead. So 2 tries in the space of 3 minutes. It's turned the game around once more in Leigh's favour, and Chris Johnson will now attempt the conversion. Leigh ahead by 14 points to 8 at the moment. So Chris Johnson with the conversion attempt for Leigh adds his second goal of the afternoon, and Leigh are now 8 points ahead. They lead Oldham by 16 points to 8 with 31 minutes of the first half gone. So Edwards once again with the restart for Oldham. Well, he finds dead. Good kick from Edwards over the head of the Leigh loose forward Phil Johnson, and Leigh forced to drop out from under their own post. So can Oldham put some more pressure back on their opponents and get themselves back into this game? Good kick by Johnson, or a good take from Mbaki. So Evans makes the stop for Leigh, 5 yards from the visitors' 25-yard line. Now can Oldham conjure anything up from here with Flanagan? So to 2 tackles, doesn't escape the clutches of Cottrell. Retakes play into the Leigh 25. The position is there if Oldham can find the gap. Waddell. Well, Hugh Waddell had no one to pass to there. He was looking to unload the ball in the tattle. Flanagan brings in Sherratt. Sherratt scatters 2. Cottrell brings him down. Oldham 10 yards short now of that Leigh try line. Sanderson out to Kerwin. On to Flanagan. Flanagan into Burke. And Warnocky gets over for his second try of the afternoon. Good play by Oldham, good quick hands. The overlap, Leigh tried to close them down, but Oldham were there in numbers for Gary Warnocky to score his second try of the game in the 33rd minute and bring Oldham within 4 points of the Leigh total. So Mick Buck, the Oldham skipper and fullback, 2 goals from 2 attempts so far this afternoon, will now attempt to convert Gary Warnocky's second try with the score at Oldham 12, Leigh 16. So Mick Buck, 12 yards in from this near touchline. Pulls it wide of the near post. So Leigh remain 4 points ahead. Just over 6 minutes of the first half remaining here at Watersheddings. Scoreline now reads Oldham 12, Leigh 16. So Phil Johnson with the restart for Leigh. The try, of course, came as a result of a good kick-off by Jeff Edwards. Flanagan makes that one his own. Good tackling by Leigh this time, but Oldham back in possession just outside their own 25. Sanderson attacked in half-back. Out to Kerwin. On to Clausen. Arkyard, beg your pardon. Sanderson again. Kerwin now on to Waddell. Sanderson attacked in half-back. Kerwin. Reverse move with Flanagan. That doesn't unlock the Leigh defence though. Leigh doing a good containing job at the moment on Oldham. Oldham forced to kick through Raper. Ball again, sits up prettily for Chris Johnson. Johnson takes play back into Oldham territory. And Jeffries attacked in half-back over on the far side. Out to Phil Johnson. Johnson breaks out of 2 tackles before he's stopped by Flanagan. Hughes now attacked in half-back for Leigh. On to Cottrell. Cottrell slips as he's brought down by Waddell. Forward now for Leigh. Huddett. Can't release the ball in the tackle. Raper making the stop for Oldham. Forward now. Good kick from Michael. Ford finds touch 15 yards from the Oldham try line, and with just over 4 minutes of the first half remaining, the score in these last closing minutes could be vital for both sides. So it'll be Kerwin to feed the scrum for Oldham. Possession to Oldham. Kerwin comes round the blind side, runs into a tackle from Phil Johnson, but Oldham in possession inside their own 25. Here comes Taylor, trying to burst out. Leigh defence is having none. Stop him on the home 25. Sanderson now out to Flanagan. To Burke. Burke slips, gets up again, still going. Manages to get the ball away to Raper in the tackle, but a good stop comes in from the Leigh number 10, Cottrell. And a penalty to Leigh for Oldham not playing the ball correctly. So what will Leigh do from this position? Just 3 minutes of the half remaining, and Chris Johnson electing to go for goal.
Get it, Jim.
So Leigh ahead by 4 points at the moment. Chris Johnson, 2 goals to his credit so far this afternoon. Now attempting to put Leigh further ahead. Another kick, 40 yards out, just to the right of the Oldham post. That one's never anywhere there. Taylor takes it for Oldham. Tries to break through the Leigh defence, but he's stopped on his own 25. So now what can Oldham do in the last couple of minutes of this first half? Big overlap on this side. There goes Sherratt. Sherratt still going. Throws the ball away, picked up by Kerwin. Good tackle by Evans for Leigh. Sanderson now out to Flanagan. Flanagan inside to Raper. Raper trying to burrow his way down the middle. Sanderson again. Burke now out to Wanniker. Henderson makes the stop for Leigh. Taylor attacked in half-back. He's going to go it alone. Good tackle from Collier, and the last one indicates referee Holsworth. Just over 1 minute remaining. What will Oldham do? It certainly look like obstruction. But, Oldham will have to concede a second turnover. Flanagan was the man, tattled in possession. Here comes Ford now. Kerr. Lulawai, good tattle coming in from Humbaki. Good handling by Leigh, but good defence from Oldham. Forward now. A wild pass by Ford. Now Taylor has an opportunity for Oldham. Certainly Leigh lost their way again there, but Oldham was slow to capitalise on it. Still possession to Oldham. Referee wipes the slate clean. 20 seconds of normal time remaining. Warnicker slips at the feet of Cottrell. Sanderson attacked in half-back. Out to Flanagan. On to Waddell. Huddart and Collier make the stop for Leigh. Dying seconds. Kerr picks the ball up for Leigh, and there goes the hooter to bring to an end the first half of this Stones-Bitter Championship fixture here at Watersheddings, with a half-time scoreline of Oldham 12 points, Leigh 16. So on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, it's your match commentator Derek Dittle saying we hope you'll stay with us for the second half.
Short passes forward. Keep them short.
Well, welcome back to Watersheddings for this afternoon's Stones-Bitter Championship fixture, where Leigh are the visitors. A reminder of the half-time scoreline: Oldham 12 points, Leigh 16. Oldham getting 2 tries in the first half from Gary Warnicker and 2 goals from Mick Burke. Leigh's 3 tries, 1 each from John Anderson, Neil McCulloch and James Luluai, with 2 goals from fullback Chris Johnson. So the British Legion band leaves the field down in front of us, and it'll be Oldham to restart the second half. Referee John Holsworth gets play underway, and Leigh in possession with Ford. Ford stopped on his own 25-yard line. Phil Johnson. Stopped by Clausen in centre field. Evans on the charge now. Good run by Evans, made 7 or 8 yards for Leigh. Leigh obviously looking for the kick from this position. Johnson out to Chris Johnson. Taylor takes the kick. Leigh forced to give him 5 yards, but Leigh don't, says referee Holsworth, and Oldham get the first penalty of the second half. And the second one 10 yards further back for descent. So lack of discipline in the Leigh side in the opening minute of this second half. But Mick Burke with the kick for Oldham. So Oldham on top, 5 yards from the Leigh 25. They're going to be desperate for a quick score to get on level terms in this second period. Waddell first man in. Evans and Hughes make the stop for Leigh. Sanderson to Flanagan. Flanagan takes it just into the Leigh 25. Kerwin attacked in half-back. Ball dropped. Referee wipes the slate clean. Oldham gets 6 more tackles. So the position is there for the home side if they can do anything. Waddell gets it away to Harkyard. Oldham certainly more adept at releasing the ball in the tattle than Leigh have been this afternoon. Now here comes Flanagan. Inside to Sherratt. Sherratt looking to release the ball, but no one near enough to take the pass. And Oldham in a good position here to get back on level terms. They bring in Clausen. Good defence that time by Leigh. Sanderson attacked in half-back. Out to Raper. Kerwin out to Flanagan. Flanagan dodging and weaving. Taylor goes without it. And really it was easier for Oldham to score there than not. That was a golden opportunity when to beg in there for the home side. 2.5 minutes of the second half gone. Leigh still lead by 16 points to 12. Forward to feed the scrum. Possession to Leigh. Good tattling again on Phil Johnson there. And Leigh again, a little disorganised. Slow to regroup. Oldham keeping the pressure on their opponents. Evans now loses the ball, and Oldham gets 6 more from inside the Leigh 25. So what can they do this time? They made a right mess of the last one. Now you've got to hold the composure, play the tackles, look for the gaps. Good break from Sherratt. Just 15 yards short of the Leigh line now with Kerwin on to Waddell. Sanderson now out to Flanagan, on to Burke. Burke to Raper. Ball thrown away. Referee gives the knock on. So we'll scrum it inside the Leigh 25. Oldham keeping the pressure on in these first 4 minutes. Leigh get the ball now with Kerr. Well, suicide pass to Chris Johnson. But Leigh get away with it. Kerr now to Huddart. Good tattle by Oldham. Edwards, the man making the stop. Chris Johnson now for Leigh. Throws it away wildly, picked up by Lulawai. And really, both sides is bad at one another at the moment. Leigh immediately loosened their substitute back, Mike Davis, up after that. Better run this time by the Leigh number 8 Evans. Retains possession. Kick comes in from Phil Johnson. Towering kick that by the Leigh number 13. But will it find touch? It drives Oldham right back to their own try line, but Oldham pick up the ball with Burke.
Get it in.
So now, can Leigh do a containing job on Oldham, or can Oldham show their attacking spirit? There goes Umbarki. Tattled by Henderson. Oldham in possession on their own 25. Waddell now. Good run by Waddell, makes 10 valuable yards. Flanagan now, out to Kerwin. Orchard stumbles as he makes the break, loses a boot, but Oldham retain possession. Kerwin now, out to Raper. Lulawai picks it up for Leigh. On to Michael Ford, and Leigh makes something out of nothing. Ford scores Leigh's 4th try of the game and puts them into a 20 points to 16 lead, and Oldham have really only got themselves to blame. Well, certainly Oldham had enjoyed the better territorial and possession advantage in the opening 6 minutes. Fine kick by Phil Johnson drove them back, and they lost a valuable possession inside their own 25, which Lulawai picked up for Leigh to put Michael Ford over for Leigh's 4th try of the afternoon and a 20 points to 12 advantage. So the Leigh fullback Chris Johnson with the conversion attempt. Make sure, and Leigh are ahead by 10 points, and I think we're going to have a couple of substitutions now. Well, both number 14s were loosening up, but neither's come on at the moment. So 7 minutes of the second half gone. Oldham 12, Leigh 22. McCulloch juggles with it. Tries to crash his way through, but can't get past Sanderson and Clawson. So will that encourage Leigh to better things? Hughes going on his own from acting half-back. Ford now to Cottrell. Cottrell stumbles. Stopped by Waddell. Hughes again. Kick will come in from Phil Johnson. It's another towering kick from the number 13. Burke takes it well this time on his own 25. Out to Taylor. Leigh there in numbers to stop Oldham. So Oldham back in possession midway between their own 25 and the halfway line. Flanagan now. Good inside pass to Orchard, but Leigh quick to close the gap.
Number 12, effect.
Flanagan inside to Clawson. Oldham looking a little more lively now, putting a bit more urgency in their play. There goes Flanagan. Good tattle though by Henderson for Leigh. Waddell now trying to crash through. This time Leigh managed to stop the ball in the tattle, and as the last one indicates the referee. Well, McCulloch went for the interception. In fact, it was Phil Johnson going for the interception for Leigh, but the pass was wild, and it's Oldham that make the first substitution. Tony Morrison coming on to replace Neil Clawson.
Number 12's coming off too, Derek.
And Leigh are going to do the same. Both number 14s coming on to replace both number 12s. So Neil Clawson and Milton Huddart come off. And Leigh already with two scrum halves on the field. Now bring on a third. So Mike Davis and Tony Morrison come on as substitutes, and Phil Johnson goes into the second row and Mike Davis goes to loose forward. So Mike Ford to feed the scrum for Leigh. Leigh get possession, out to Kerr, into Johnson. Johnson looking for the gap. Finally stopped on the halfway line by Edwardson and Barkey, but Leigh in possession. Break by Luluai. Good tackle by fullback Burke, but certainly Leigh got the upper hand at the moment. Here comes Ford with a big overlap. Ford still going, he's going on his own, and Michael Ford breaks through. Some poor Oldham tackling to score his second try in this second half in a 5-minute spell and put Leigh ahead by 26 points to 12. Well, Leigh supporters to our left beginning to get behind their side. They know they've got to win their last two matches for First Division survival. But defeat today for Oldham could bring them into the relegation race. But it's Leigh ahead by 14 points at the moment with Chris Johnson to attempt the conversion. And Chris Johnson gets his fourth goal of the afternoon, and Leigh are well in command now. They lead Oldham by 28 points to 12 with just 11 and a half minutes of the second half gone. Edwards with the restart. Leigh lose it. Good play for Oldham here. Oldham do well to. Can they capitalise on this now? They've got to get 6 points to get back in this game quickly. Waddell driving him. The Leigh half-back pair of Ford and Kerr make the stop. Oldham supporters getting behind their team, and Waddell knocks on as he tries to catch Leigh napping with a short tap. So that's relief for the visitors. There's 16 points in the lead at the moment. Leigh get possession again. Kearney. It's it out to Chris Johnson. Leigh throwing the ball about with gay abandon now inside their own 25. So Henderson attacked in half-back for Leigh. Morrison and Waddell make the stop. Forward. Out to Evans. Evans gets past Morrison's tackle, but Arkyard assists with the stop, along with Sherratt. Phil Johnson again with those towering kicks, a fine kick again. This time he finds touch and things are beginning to go Leigh's way at the moment. They're using the slope to better effect than Oldham did in the first half. And they're certainly in the driving seat with just 13 minutes of this second half gone. Oldham need a score desperately quickly to get back in this game. Kerwin to feed the scrum. Leigh get penalised at the scrum. And Oldham get their third penalty of the half. But it's points they want at the moment, not penalties. Mick Burke will go for touch on the far side. Makes about 10 yards, and Oldham will tap from 10 yards inside their own half. Kerwin now. On to Flanagan. On to Morrison. Phil Johnson makes the stop. Oldham just inside the Leigh half. Now with Kerwin. Kerwin inside to Sanderson. Oldham making their way up the centre of the field. Flanagan out to Burke. Good tattle by Hughes on Burke. That time Oldham go backwards. Kerwin on to Waddell. Leigh struggling to get the big number 10 down. Flanagan now for Oldham. Out to Arkyard. Kerr makes the stop for Leigh, and it's the last one, indicates referee Holsworth. Flanagan gets it away to Morrison. Finally knocked on by Sanderson. Edwards was the man going through the gap from the Flanagan pass. Scrum at midway between the Leigh 25 and the halfway line. Forward with the feed for Leigh. Scrums in this second half, 4-0 in Leigh's favour. Head and ball to Leigh, and Leigh get a penalty this time, the first of this second half. For loose arm, and a second one for dissent. Phil Johnson will take the kick for Leigh. Punishes Oldham with another 20 yards down the field. And Hughes will take the tap for Leigh, some 12 yards outside the Oldham 25, and certainly another try for Leigh could really wrap this game up at this stage. 16 minutes of the second half gone, Leigh ahead by 28 points to 12. Collier now. Morrison in on the tattle. Leigh just short of the Oldham 25. Forward now, out to Davis. Davis to forward. Forward jumps over but runs into a Hawkyard and Morrison tattle. Mike Davis now. Mike Davis going through on his own from the acting halfback. And Leigh get their 6th try of the game and go 20 points ahead. Well, chance of here we go from the supporters behind the post to our left, but unfortunately for the home side, those are the visiting supporters from Leigh. They have everything to cheer about at the moment. Their side now 20 points ahead with 23 minutes of this match remaining. So Chris Johnson once again, 4 goals to his credit so far this afternoon, makes that number 5, stretches the Leigh lead even further. Scoreline here at Watersheddings now reads Oldham 12 points, Leigh 34. So in the first 18 minutes of this second half, Leigh have scored 18 points without reply. Edwards with the restart. Evans takes the ball for Leigh, and will that try give them even more encouragement? They're certainly on top at the moment. Ford again. Ford with the kick. It's Waddell. Picked up by McCulloch. And Leigh will get 6 more tackles. Good tackle coming in from Sanderson. Davis now for Leigh. Looking for the gap again. Normally a half-back, now operating at loose forward. Ford now. Out to Henderson. Henderson looking for the break. Stopped by Clausen in centre field. Kerr now. Forward. Throws it away to Jeffrey. Jeffrey steps inside one. And another. Gets it out to Henderson. The referee brings them back for a forward pass. But certainly it's all Leigh at the moment. Oldham have got to claw their way back into this game, and quickly. Kerwin with the feed. Possession to Oldham. And Ian Jeffrey has gone down injured. The Leigh left winger just collapsed on his ankle. But Oldham in possession inside their own 25. Sanderson looking for the break from the acting halfback, which led to Oldham's first try. Flanagan now out to Raper, to Burke. Good tackle by Davis, and Leigh drive them back again. Wannicky now. Edwards trying to break out of his own 25, but it's the last one, indicates the referee. Comfortable kick for the Leigh fullback to take. And Chris Johnson breaks through the middle again, setting Leigh up on the attack. Chris Johnson's going to go all the way. Passes it to himself there, gets it inside to Collier. To Henderson. Well, and Leigh lose the ball. Orchard picks it up for Oldham.
Get it, Curdy.
So Leigh muff a chance there. So will that encourage Oldham to claw their way back? They get a penalty for ball pinching in the tackle. Mark Furbank beginning to loosen up down in front of us. Oldham going to have to throw their second substitute in to try and claw their way back into this game. Sanderson with the tap. On to Sherratt. Sanderson again, on to Waddell. And a break on from Sanderson. He loses the ball as he's tackled. Ford pushes off Kerwin. On to Cotterill. Cotterill stopped by Flanagan. Both number 15s loosening up at the moment.
Get away from him, Cotterill.
Evans now. And Tony Cotterill penalised for an elbow on Terry Flanagan there. Lack of discipline there from the Leigh number 10. Leigh want to bring off fullback Chris Johnson. John Westhead coming on. The fullback took a knock in the first half. Oldham are losing their substitute up, but it doesn't look as though he's coming on as yet. So Westhead comes on, and so Andy Collier drops back from the second row to go to fullback, and Jeff Edwards will take the tap for Oldham. Flanagan now. Bring in Morrison, but they've worked that move quite a lot this afternoon. Leigh have got wise to it. Flanagan now. On to Orchard. Good tackle coming in from Westhead. Kerwin. Tackle coming in from Davis, and the Leigh defence in an uncompromising mood at the moment. Ball's thrown away. Leigh pick it up. Oldham get it back. So Oldham 6 more tackles from just outside the Leigh 25. Sanderson now. Runs into forward. Morrison now at acting halfback. Can Oldham get points from this situation? Kerwin runs into Cottrell, throws the ball away. Davis picks it up for Leigh. Flanagan makes the stop, but Leigh back in possession. Evans now, the Leigh number 8. Stopped just inside his own 25. Forward. Luluai looking for the gap. Falls at the feet of Raper. Ford loses the ball. Leigh get it back. In fact, Leigh have got it back again. No, Oldham have now got it. So, what can Oldham do from this position? Sanderson out to Waddell. Cottrell and Westhead make the stop for Leigh. Points Oldham need at the moment. Sherratt charging in. Stop 5 yards short. Sanderson out to Kerwin. Edwards gets it out to Warneke. Warneke gets it back, but the referee gives the knock on. Certainly came off a Leigh man, but Gary Warneke knocked it on at the second attempt. So Oldham looking to replace left winger Mick Taylor by number 15 Mark Furbank. So Oldham will have to do some reshuffling in their ranks. Furbank wanted to go in the pack. Looks as though Harkyard will go on the left wing. So Mike Davis has now gone scrum half for Leigh. But Leigh get penalised for second row feeding. Oldham have 6 more tackles from within 10 yards of the Leigh try line to get something. Waddell drives in. Evans and Hughes make the first stop for Leigh. Sanderson now out to Morrison. Bring in the big number 15 Furbank. Sanderson again attacked in half back. Goes it alone. 5 yards short yet, Oldham. Kerwin attacked in half back. Flanagan inside to Sherratt. Picked up by Harkyard. The referee brings them back for the knock-on. We'll scrum it 10 yards from the Leigh try line, with Leigh leading by 34 points to 12 with just 14 minutes of the match remaining. Davis wins the ball for Leigh. So what can Leigh do from deep in their own 25? Ford attacked in half back, out to Luluai. On to Henderson. Henderson loses the ball. McCulloch picks it up for Leigh.
Oh, McCulloch, lad.
Oldham a little slow to drop on that loose ball. Henderson stays down injured. Ford on the ball. Kerr looking for the gap. The Oldham defence don't let him have one. Hughes now to Cottrell. Cottrell almost up to the 25 before he's stopped. Hughes now out to Phil Johnson. Another of these towering kicks drives Oldham back. Buck stops this one from going in touch. So Oldham on the reply. Stopped just short of the halfway line. Looks as though Milton Huddart going to have to return for Leigh. But Oldham, Flanagan. Ball lost again by Oldham. Mick Davis picks up the pieces for Leigh once more. Forward now, on to Evans. Evans drives into Morrison and Flanagan. Hughes now. Westhead gets it away to Phil Johnson for Leigh. Johnson tries to burrow his way under Flanagan's tattle, but Terry Flanagan makes the stop. Hughes now, out to Davis. Davis with the kick. Just goes touching goal. And Oldham will tap from their own 25 as Leigh want to bring Milton Huddart back into the action. Think to replace the injured John Henderson. Oldham back in possession. Sherratt clearing his 25, falling to a Lulu tackle. Raper now. On to Furbank. Furbank stopped in centre field. Leigh defence given very little away in this second half. Waddell now. Kerwin gets the ball from the tattle. There goes Sanderson. Good break by Sanderson. On to Raper. Good tattle coming in from Westhead. Referee gives the knock on. And I think he's going to speak to Stuart Raper for something he said. And I think Leigh will get a penalty out of this. So John Henderson coming off. Leigh making their third substitution of the game. Milton Huddart going on the left wing. Ian Jeffrey going to right centre. So Ford feeds the scrum and Leigh get the ball. Ford loses Kerwin. Sit out to Jeffrey. And Leigh back in possession. Winning the scrum in the second half 6-1. There goes Davis. Out to McCulloch. McCulloch stopped by Kerwin and Wannicky. Davis now for Leigh. Cottrell tries to straighten the move up, gets away to Phil Johnson. Mike Davis, Leigh on the rampage again. Fine tattle by Sanderson. And Leigh get a penalty as Phil Johnson passes the ball to an Oldham player. So Phil Johnson taking over the goal kicking mantle, wanting to go for goal. Just 10 minutes of the match remaining. Leigh comfortably ahead by 22 points. They want to play out all the time as they can. So Phil Johnson, some 12 yards in from that far touchline, 8 yards outside the Oldham 25. His first kick of the afternoon. Although he's kicked well from the hand to drive Oldham back downfield. Now he attempts a penalty kick. And he's successful with that one. And he puts Leigh further ahead. They now lead Oldham by 36 points to 12 with just 9 minutes of the match remaining. So Edwards with the restart once again, kicks directly out of play and Leigh get a penalty as well. So nothing going Oldham's way at the moment. Leigh firmly in command. And Hughes with the tap. On to Westhead. Tattle comes in from Sanderson. Hughes attacked in half back for Leigh. On to Kerr. Kerr still going. Runs into Morrison and Kerwin. Hughes attacked in half back for Leigh. Ford gets it inside to Evans. Evans unceremoniously dumped by Morrison. Hughes now out to Ford, to Cottrell. Cottrell releases it to Hughes, on to Phil Johnson. Oldham quick to close the gap and it's Sherratt this time making the stop. Hughes to Ford. Ford with the kick. Well cut off by Oldham though. Jeff Edwards now playing on the left wing. Flanagan trying to bring in Furbank. But Leigh tattling as solidly as ever now. They know this one's there for the taking. Westhead in on the tattle. No, it's Davis again. Flanagan, no way through. Leigh there in numbers. Raper kicks ahead. Mbarki kicks it on. Kicks it again. Ford picks it up for Leigh. It's it out to McCulloch, and Leigh it back. But Orchard makes the stop. Leigh tried to catch Oldham on the counter there. Forward now to Jeffrey. Jeffrey steps out to one tattle before Kerwin makes the stop. Phil Johnson now. Dodges out of one tattle. Waddell makes the stop. But Leigh in possession in Oldham territory. Hughes now to forward. Fine break by Cottrell. To Kerr, and Leigh are over again.
Good try, Leigh. That's how it works,
John Kerr, supporting the break from Tony Cottrell, goes behind the Oldham post for Leigh's 7th try of the game. And Phil Johnson should have the easiest of chances to add on the conversion. And Leigh have scored 24 points without reply so far in this second half. Phil Johnson tags on the conversion, and with just 5.5 minutes of the match remaining here at Watersheddings, the scoreline now reads Oldham 12, Leigh 42. So Evans with the restart. Jeffrey takes it for Leigh. Gets away again, Jeffrey. Steps inside two. Gets it out to McCulloch. McCulloch, half stopped, still going. Good reply by Leigh. It's all Leigh at the moment.
Come on, Leigh, get them bloody baits up, Louis.
They're really in the ascendancy. There goes forward. Phil Johnson gets it inside to Cottrell. Cottrell dodges back. Leigh still in possession. Furbank makes the stop on Cottrell, but Leigh get a penalty and a second one for dissent. Oldham totally out of this now. It's just a question of how many Leigh can get. So Phil Johnson kicks for touch, drives Oldham back inside their own 25, and Leigh are still hungry for even more points. Hughes on the tap now to Phil Johnson. Leigh send the littlest man in first. Hughes now out to forward to Kerr. Westhead, good tattle coming in from Kerwin and Morrison. Davis does well to get that one out to Evans. Evans pushes two off before he's stopped by Warnicky. Leigh within 15 yards of yet another try. Uluai to forward, out to Kerr. But Leigh penalised for crossing. John Westhead going through the gap without the ball. Oldham with only their pride to play for in this last 3 minutes. Waddell trying to break up the middle. Here comes Furbank. Kerwin now.
Come on, Lulai, wake up, you
Mbarki picks up the pieces. Good reply by Mbarki. Good stop by Cottrell. Ball lost. Collier on the reply for Leigh. Stopped by Morrison and Furbank. But Leigh certainly catch Oldham with pace when they counter. Forward dodges past one tattle again.
Get rid of it.
Set out to Evans.
Oh.
Pass intercepted by Raper. Raper gets it away to Sanderson. Out to Mbarki. Pedestrian stuff from Oldham. Arcade stopped by a Davis tackle, but can Oldham get anything before the end? Here comes Raper now. Morrison throws it away wildly to Warnocky. Referee waves play on. Oldham are in the lead, 25. The game is beyond their reach, but can they get a consolation try before they're finished? Waddell breaks out of the tackle. Collier makes the stop for Leigh. Ball is lost. What can Leigh do on the counter? Here comes Kerr now to Westhead. Westhead still going. Westhead still going. Tackle is made in the end by Furbank, but Leigh have taken play 40 yards up the field. There goes Lulai now, out to Kerr. Vital stop by Flanagan. Can Leigh get anything before the break, the end of this game? They've just got a minute to go. Forward now, kicks ahead. Davis takes it. Kerr gets it on to Phil Johnson. Johnson dodges under one tackle, and Phil Johnson gets Leigh's 8th try of the game. And Leigh are ahead by 46 points to 12. So the lead try scorer Phil Johnson will attempt the conversion from just to the left of the Oldham post. Phil Johnson becomes Leigh's 7th different try scorer in this game. And he adds on the conversion. And as we move into injury time here at Watersheddings, the scoreline now reads Oldham 12 points, Leigh 48. So Edwards once again with a restart for Oldham. Davis takes the catch for Leigh. So do 2 tackles. Well, he's stopped by Waddell. Evans now on the charge for Leigh. A fine break by Evans. Is he going to go all the way? Steps inside, pull back, but and he gets over. A marvellous try from the Leigh number 8, Dave Evans. A tremendous 60-yard break by the Leigh number 8. And Leigh are into the 50s. And it really is a rampant Leigh in these last 10 minutes. They've scored 3 tries in the last 10 minutes. They've scored 6 tries in the second half without reply. And a tremendous reception for Dave Evans as he comes back to the halfway line. Phil Johnson with the conversion attempt. Tags on the goal points, and Leigh now lead by 54 points to 12 as the hooter goes to bring to an end this first division fixture here at Oldham. Final scoreline: Oldham 12, Leigh 54. Oldham's try scorers: 2 from Gary Warnocky, 2 goals from Mick Buck, all in the first half. Leigh's 9 tries, 2 from Mike Ford, 1 each from John Henderson, Neil McCulloch, James Lulawai, Mike Davis, John Kerr, Phil Johnston, and finally Dave Evans. 5 goals from Chris Johnson, 4 goals from Phil Johnson. So on behalf of your cameraman Jeff Unsworth, is your match commentator Derek Disley saying goodbye from Watersheddings with a final reminder of today's scoreline: Oldham 12 points, Leigh 54. Somebody's not pleased.
Ready, Fran?